Hello, you beautiful people. My name is Davi. I'm joined by Abe and Charlie, and welcome back to another Tony Tuesday.
How you doing?
For our viewers and listeners, we hope you guys are doing well.
Just a heads up, this episode is also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're looking for the discussion portion of the show, you can listen to that there on your commute. If you're doing chores, just listen to us talk about this episode, and you can find the link in the description.
Also, we're on Patreon. Thank you to our patrons. They have been following us for a while on there and enjoying our uncut reactions. So if you guys are looking for this video uncut, people on Patreon, you guys already saw it. So if you want to join, it's $5 a month. You need to own your own copy of the show, and we'll give you a countdown. We'll watch it together. Thank you to everyone on Patreon, and thank you for subscribing to us here on YouTube. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you're notified when we upload.
Yes, sir. One more shameless plug for you. You may have seen we did a podcast episode. By the time this comes out, we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things, film, TV related. We also watched Dune Part 2, and we talk a lot about that.
Listen, Agaib.
If you haven't seen that episode, it'll be on our YouTube already, so you can go and check that out. And we're here to plug another live stream that we're doing. We are going to be covering the Oscars live on Sunday. Graphic here. The Oscars live stream.
Sunday, March 10th.
Sunday, March 10th. Thank you for the date. I didn't have it. Please tune into that. We'll be just reacting to our, the categories, the awards, the show in general, and talking about whether we agree, whether we didn't, and whether the show was good or ass. So that's pretty much it.
We're going to add a little bit of spice.
A little bit of something extra in
Are we
there.
going to be hallucinating like Paul Atreides?
I hope so. I'm going to be doing some trippy stuff.
Yeah, we did that live stream 2 years ago, I think.
Yep.
We did it once, and then last year we skipped it, kind of just covered it on social media, and we're going to do it again because it was fun. It was fun the first time. If you guys have been around for that long and caught it, hopefully you enjoyed it. That was the year that Will Smith slapped freaking Chris Rock across the face. So, hopefully nothing that crazy this time around. But
or if it does, you'll get our reactions.
True.
And for the OGs who don't know, Redox started as a podcast, so we're kind of going a little bit back to our roots, doing a couple of podcast related episodes, maybe once a month, that kind of thing. If you guys like it, great, let us know, and you can always just submit more questions or topics that you want us to talk about, and we'd be happy to do that. And before we get into this episode, let me read some comments from our previous episode. So this one here comes from Shotgun Sean, and it says, "The Mob Joker. I have watched this show for almost 20 years now and never heard Ralphie described that way, but that is perfect." I agree. Shout out to, I think it was Davi who said it, or Charlie who said it.
Yeah.
One of y'all.
I don't remember.
One of y'all are smart. One of you said it. This one comes from Plutonian Rabbit. Silvio referring to Tracy as thoroughbred. Remember that for a future episode. See, these are the kind of things that I like. Not spoiling, but letting us know that we should pay attention. So appreciate that. And the next one here, this is a lot of comments that we got on this, and I appreciate the people clarifying. This one comes from Orange Worm 1. You can't hit a made guy unless you have a sit down and get an okay. So that was a confusion that we had. We just, thought Tony could punch up whoever. Not the case. Very clear to us now. So thank you for pointing that out, because now that creates a very clear conflict where he did something that, even though he is the boss, something that was against the rules of the family, the mob, and the code that they go by.
So there's going to be repercussions for Tony, maybe?
Potentially. Or we'll just see how it plays out. Yeah.
I feel like there's more people on Tony's side than on Ralphie's side, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You'd think so. I think they both effed up, because one person also said that Ralphie wasn't supposed to kill somebody without Tony's permission, especially in the place of business kind of thing. So that could be seen. But the hit a made guy one is a really concrete rule. So Tony definitely did something he wasn't supposed to.
With that being said, Charlie,
we're going to season 3, episode 7, Second Opinion.
Is the second opinion going to be either what? Dr. Melfi or
Junior?
Junior. Oh yeah, because we didn't see Junior. Yeah. Seeing another doctor.
Could be a little. I think there's more there, but could be a double entendre kind of thing.
Chase loves the parallels.
Yeah,
we've seen that
100%.
Or could be a second opinion on whether or not Tony will pay consequences for hitting Ralphie or something. I don't know.
I wonder if the New York
could be all.
Yeah, he could go to the New York Mafia.
That's true. He is buddy with the guy that just moved in. Forgot his name.
Yeah. What I need to do before these episodes is get a damn family tree chart thing and just look at the names. 'Cause I swear to God,
There's a lot,
there's
man.
a lot.
There's a lot.
It's hard to keep up sometimes.
But I just think, I don't know, maybe the family tree graphic would be from all seasons. I don't know if it would be a spoiler for us looking at it.
Yeah, it could be. Got yourself a gun.
10, 9.
Mr. Soprano, someone here to see you.
I knew it.
Oh, God.
That intro.
The director has authorized us to make you an offer. You have your nephew Tony. Cooperate fully, help take him down.
What do I get?
Guaranteed cure.
No more cancer?
Not a single disease cell.
Yeah, it's a dream. Had to be.
And he's superstitious as heck, so
Star Witness weds Angie Dickinson.
if we're supposed to know who that is, I apologize.
We are so sorry. We are.
Apologies. Can I just say Junior without the glasses was almost unrecognizable?
Yes, it's clean.
Miles, you close.
Let's do it quickly. I got his BP back up, but I don't know how long it'll hold.
Watch and learn, Miles.
Dude, I don't know how they could do this job. Surgeons, like, they're done with one, go into another, into another, into
Yeah.
another.
Your uncle is a very strong man, Mr. Soprano. The news is all good.
So the cancer is...
Gone? You bet. It took a tumor the size of a fist out of his stomach.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Just want to say thanks. You know, my uncle thinks the world of you, and if there's ever anything I can do, a favor, anything, let me know.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Soprano.
Game 3. At $60.
Good luck getting it. You wearing a wire?
With his thing unbuttoned that much, he's wearing a
No
wire?
shit.
Oh, take them off. Everything.
Wow, this is
Whoa.
a crazy.
It's not. Do you remember when Tony said, wait until he finds out about the involuntary strip searches or whatever?
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah. Ugh, the scar from when he got
I said everything.
Go f yourself.
Before I was breaking balls. Now you're beginning to worry me.
We think they got a fucking microphone installed where his dick used to be?
I guess you could call that a dick.
I knew it was gonna be some BS, bro.
You're going, young man. That's all there is to it.
Jason Mangelli isn't going.
Tony, you want to weigh in here?
Munching on that chicken, bro.
Oh, you're going to be on that school bus to D.C. tomorrow.
Bro, why wouldn't you go to a DC field trip?
We're going to FBI headquarters.
Oh,
That's probably not
he's
a good
staying
idea.
home. They're gonna go to Quantico or something.
But I got to go. Problems at work.
Sunday dinner, Tony.
I know. I got to go. It's a nice example he sets for his son.
Ma?
He's got an uncle sick with cancer.
Oh, please. They didn't speak for a year.
Actually, if you must know, Tony has been a little better. We've been seeing his therapist together.
Yeah, they're not gonna be happy about that. No. I'm sure that generation not all about that.
He's no Angelo Stanford, that's all.
What is that supposed to mean?
You know Angelo was dying to marry you. And now, Stanford's is a chain of drugstores.
So what? He doesn't need therapy? He prescribes his own tranquilizers?
She's excusing herself. Said, I'm done.
Yep.
Or maybe you forgot Dad's little strip mall on Route 17 was zoned residential until Tony made a phone call.
Bullshit.
Oh, really, Dad? The contract you got to do with Sparta High for the hurricane repairs, what, all the other builders were too busy to bid?
Oof.
The waters don't part for you wherever you go.
I earn it. You two get a free pass.
She's right. She has to deal with all the BS. What the hell's that fish?
Oh, we used to have one of those.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna remember that from the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
$4 a pound.
Take me to the river, put me in the water.
It's a place of business. That's an office back there.
I saw it rated. They were selling them.
What did you say?
I think you can say he was triggered.
Carmela.
Just her.
Honestly, I was wondering when this would happen.
Wow.
I think this is a nightmare situation. I'm not gonna lie. I would never do this.
Question, is that ethical?
Yeah, I don't think so.
This is so awkward.
Come on. Look, it's not like this when me and Tony are here together. You never give him the silent treatment.
Maybe you could tell me why you came today.
I'm worried about my husband. The mood swings. I thought, when his mother died, maybe
Maybe that would stop all the mood swings.
I know that he is your patient, and I am only the patient's wife, but you try living with that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. See how you feel. The fact is, Tony isn't under the weather today. He just didn't feel like coming.
Usually happens when we touch on a nerve. He was distressed about this young man's death in the garbage compactor.
He didn't say garbage compactor, did he? See?
What is it you believe?
You know about his job. He reports to a strip club. Who knows how he spends his days?
I think coming to therapy with him has stirred up a lot of feelings in you that you would like to address with somebody. Oh, please. I would like to help you, but as you've pointed out, your husband is my patient.
Okay.
Here's a number of a colleague in Livingston.
I could tell by the way that she was guiding the conversation that she was not going to go into anything that Tony would say.
He was a teacher of mine.
She's gonna send him to the
her
therapist.
Her therapist, yeah. You think Tony's gonna have that same reaction where when Carmela found out that he was seeing Dr. Melfi, who was a woman, now he's going. Now she's
going
gonna
to see a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
See, when we operate, we have to decide how much healthy tissue to cut around the tumor. We took a small sampling of the tumor from the frozen section. When we got back the complete results, it showed nodal involvement.
Don't blame yourself, Doc.
I don't think he was.
It's called amended surgery.
Oh, Jesus. Cut me again?
Let's schedule you for Tuesday, 6 a.m. We can admit and prep you Monday night.
Surgery, okay.
Any questions?
When can he eat regular food again?
I'd guess 2 weeks. So let's fill out the surgery. Take all the time you need to read them.
No need. You say sign, I sign. You tell me to take a crap on the deck of the Queen Mary, an hour later they're hosing it down with disinfectant.
A whole issue of U.S. News on seniors and health. Bring somebody with you to the doctors. It's somebody to ask questions. You ask one dumb question about my diet.
Wants to know when he can have normal food in the house again.
Yeah.
She's staring at frozen meat now. Interesting.
Carmela. Hi.
Is that her neighbor?
I don't know.
Oh,
Pussy's wife. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
It's just me and Tony with med at school. AJ's on a field trip. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and Tony won't show.
Oh, yikes.
They know. She knows, right?
I don't know. Probably. But it's also the way that she said it. Tony won't show. Pussy just didn't show up one day.
Now I get left with a sick dog. The vet says I should put it down, but I wanted to get another operation. But where am I going to come up with $1,200? I mean, Tony helps out, and I am so grateful. It covers the basics, but anything extra, there's no way, Carmela.
Easy, Ange. I'm sorry. That must be so tough.
Yeah, I remember a comment saying that they take care of the family.
Jimmy Choo shoes?
No way.
In black trash bags. Meaning he stole them.
They're gorgeous.
No, they're borrowed, bro.
They're all yours, baby. And they're from next season. You can't even buy them yet.
Jeez.
You flip them. Get mad money for that.
10.
10?
Nope.
That's Sasquatch size, Christopher. I'm an 8.5.
Where'd I get 10 from?
Yeah, where?
Yikes. Is Gumar?
Now what happens? I gotta give them all back?
Temporarily. I'll get you 8.5 tomorrow.
All of them? I swear.
More even.
Jeez.
Making promises he can't keep.
Since you've been, in, I just can't believe the stuff we get.
They're still living in that tiny
Except for that
place, though,
schmuck
right?
Cone Paulie.
You saying you're holding back again?
Like I'm gonna give that prick a full share?
You could have called. Now everything's cold.
Well, that's why they invented microwaves. For inconsiderate husbands.
But since we're alone, it would be nice to have dinner together.
Don't bust my chops, Camille. I got a lot on my mind.
Tony, do a date night or something,
Literally,
bro.
bro.
Come on.
Come on.
I'm having lunch with our daughter's dean tomorrow. I gather you won't be joining me.
Told you. All he wants is our money.
Fine, Tony, don't go.
I think this man just needs a system. Like, do one thing Carmela wants a week. Like,
All he needs to do is the bare minimum. He doesn't do the bare minimum.
Her dog is sick.
What's wrong with him?
Her. Osteoporosis. Angie needs money for an operation.
We'll take it up with Pussy. You can find a fat fuck wherever the feds put him. I took in Arizona. You know, Steak got all the TGI Fridays.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
He ratted us out, calm me and you. And that's where he is. And I don't want to hear about him ever again. Or his ungrateful wife. My turn. Who was your most famous?
You know Penn and Teller?
Oh my God. Stop it.
You f***ed them.
Penn. And I didn't f*** him. I gave him head. I was there with Georgette. He followed me into the ladies' room, and he acted.
Oh, right.
Why would you play this game, bro? He's such an idiot.
Shit bad.
In the fucking bathroom?
Yeah, I don't know what type of game was that.
I mean, like, whatever about the game, but, like, why are you going to play that if you're just going to act out and ask the question? Like, he's so stupid.
The FBI. For fuck's sake, Paulie. It's 2 a.m.
I know. Adriana, you in there?
Yeah?
Sorry for the intrusion, honey. Put something on and come out here.
You can't fucking do this like this.
You must have not read up on the latest rules. What's all this?
Oh, the shoes.
These are for aid.
Nice goods. My Broadway's a size 10. Patsy, pack up some of these shoes. Chrissy, you don't mind if I take my taste now?
He's not taking those.
Make yourselves comfortable. But just have a little look around.
It's because he didn't pay him the full amount, right? I think he was saying
He
something
was talking
earlier
about not giving him the share.
Yeah.
This really sucks, Christopher.
You see the shit I go through?
Oh, my God, bro.
Oh, no.
Motherfucker.
And he can't hit him.
Nope.
That is crazy.
I just find it interesting. We haven't talked about Ralphie at all this whole episode. Like, nobody's mentioned him.
No, they haven't.
Jesus, it reeks of cigarettes in here. You're not smoking, are you? Caitlin.
I feel like she's lying.
I'm trying very hard here, Med. If you want me to leave, I will leave. I have an hour before my lunch with Dean Ross.
You're going to lunch with the dean?
Can we not talk about this now, please?
I didn't know she didn't know.
The real reason I stopped by to see you, though, was to make sure you're recovered from this Noah thing. I'm worried it'll affect your grades.
You call losing a wonderful man because of Dad a thing?
Now, is that really what happened? Because you certainly kept seeing him plenty long enough after that business with your father.
Yeah.
Don't drag me into whatever bullshit, accommodational pretense you got worked out with Daddy.
What was that, last night's reading assignment?
Oh, it looks horrible.
Yeah, but what the hell did he put? Was that raw meat in there?
Something like that. I have no idea. He's trying to drown it out with the...
Put the cover back.
Oh, damn.
Coach, what the hell are you doing? What the fuck is Bacala? He's supposed to be doing this shit for you.
I sent him to the drugstore for more Pepto.
Oh, you know, you're getting better. That's the important thing. You look better, too.
If you're gonna lie to me, tell me there's a broad waiting in the car who wants to tongue my balls. What's going on with you and Ralphie Cifaretto? Bacala tells me there's bad blood now.
What about your own problems? Don't you think you should talk to somebody else, get a second opinion?
Chemo? Forget it. With Kennedy, it's cut, zip, over and out. He has the hands of an angel. You were gone a long time. How many White Castle did you have?
I didn't, I swear.
I can smell them. All right, you set it up. You come with me to listen and ask questions. My nephew thinks I need a second opinion. He doesn't like it that I'm going back under the knife. Think on this, burger boy. Anthony is a tear away from owning all of northern Jersey, and I am that tear. Maybe he has something else on his mind beside my full, complete, and speedy recovery.
Oh, shit.
Yo, he is... Wow, that is crazy.
I mean, I get why he's...
No,
paranoid.
yeah. I get it, too. It's just insane how the mob just operates all over your life, even when sick.
But I've talked to her professors. They say she's attentive, does all her work, and makes insightful contributions to class discussion.
It seems like she sleeps an awful lot.
They all do.
That's true, bro. College kids be.
Oh, man, the little tilt. What's going to happen?
What man got a bat for? Who is this? Oh, shoot. It's Carter. Ralphie? Angie?
Oh, my God.
Why?
Tony, what the hell?
Driving over here, I was thinking about how I was going to handle this. Working on my anger lately, so I figured it'd be good if I could just quietly say, any kind of problem you got, financial or otherwise, come directly to me. Leave Carmela the fuck out of it,
Of course.
Then I saw the Cadillac. The money I give you. You're driving a Cadillac and you're looking for more? Shut the whole plane.
Ooh.
So remember this. You see my wife. You talk about oven cleaner. Anything else, you come to me. But think twice before you do. Think about that fat husband of yours and what he did to you. Oh, girl. You don't look sick.
It comes and goes.
It comes and goes.
She just wants more money?
Yeah, she's bugging.
Dang.
Remember I told you I spend about half my time involved in student affairs? This is how I spend the other half.
Taking parents to lunch?
Development. Fancy word for fundraising. The new student center.
Yeah, asking for money.
I mean, at least he comes out right with it, you know what I mean?
That's where the donor names will be inscribed.
Everybody who donates gets their name up there?
The wall is reserved for people whose commitment begins at the $50,000 level.
50,000?
That's what the giving committee felt you'd be comfortable with. Based on your past generosity to the Verbum Day School.
Do you know what we gave to Verbum Day?
I'm half embarrassed to say it, but it's my job to know.
Well, I will have to talk to my husband.
50 grand? You gotta be kidding me. We gave 5 grand a year. That's a long way from 50.
This is college, Tony, New York City. 5,000 is a slap in the face to these people.
Well, let them say no. Yeah. It's around 5 grand. Run it through your household account so you can write them a check. And that's it. Not a penny more.
That's crazy. He's acting really crazy this episode.
Yeah.
Bro.
A 5-FU-based regimen with cisplatin and doxorubicin. This is the treatment I would recommend.
Are you getting this?
So the chemotherapy would be instead of the surgery.
But I can't guarantee even that. We'll have to evaluate the results of the treatment.
I could end up having the chemo, puking my guts out, having the 6 hairs I have left fall out, and still have to be cut again.
I'm afraid that's a possibility.
You see, with Kennedy, you don't get these maybes and possibilities. Isn't there somewhere you people could just agree?
Sure. Convene a tumor board. A meeting of the chief of oncology and oncological pathologist and other specialists who then work together to reach a consensus.
I didn't know that was a possibility. Probably only for people who have money.
Yeah, I wonder how you even get a meeting like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't want metal smoking, though.
Yeah.
Dr. Krakauer? Hi, yes. Thanks for calling me back. I was referred by a Dr. Jennifer Melfi, Grove Avenue. Right, okay. I gotta go. Bye-bye.
Who was that?
The paving guy. I'm thinking of having the driveway redone.
You smoking?
What is this, a 3rd degree?
It says with pulp. Not this much.
Lots
of
The f was that for?
I'll write you up a list.
I know he's being a dickhead this episode.
Well, how was it?
It was pretty good. They had PlayStation 2 right in the hotel room.
That's fire. I would book that today.
Went to DC and the best thing was PS2 in the hotel room.
Bro.
Sounds about right.
Doesn't matter where you go, if there's PS2, it's the best thing.
All the money you give to Angie Bumpancero and who knows what other widows you've got on your payroll.
It's a business expense.
But there's not enough to make sure your own daughter is protected.
I won't pay. I know too much about extortion.
Yeah, that's the thing too, right?
Pat me down, I could do standing on my head. It's every f***ing thing else. He came into my apartment in the middle of the night and embarrassed the shit out of me in front of Adriana.
They've been building this conflict for a hot minute.
I'm not f***ing kidding, Tony.
That's crazy.
He was sniffing her f***ing panties. What? You heard me.
Christopher, you're moving up very fast. Why do you think that is?
Are you gonna say it's because I'm your f***ing nephew?
So be a big boy and suck it up.
Oh, okay. It's a Nepo baby, man.
Yeah, 100%.
A CT scan revealed no evidence of metastasis.
Often too little healthy tissue was taken from around the tumor site, which leaves the possibility, as in this case, for a false negative.
You want the man's whole stomach.
If there's a problem with the procedure, we'll take it up on a board level. We don't do surgery, we do 5FU.
Which works how well in adenocarcinoma?
Not very. So what do I tell Maida?
Maida?
Your patient sought a second opinion with Dr. Maida.
Forget it then. Last thing I need is to operate with that little shit looking over my shoulder.
Whoa, politics.
Yeah.
The girl said she'd page Dr. Kennedy. Where the f*** is he?
So he's doing the chemo.
You sniffed that girl's panties. He told you that? Gotta apologize.
Hey, I'm not apologizing.
You out of line. He's gonna marry the girl, for Christ's sakes.
As of the wedding day, anything that touches a pussy is off limits.
Bro.
Think it's all up?
This is sad, bro.
Soon enough, there'll be more where that came from. It's all your fucking fault anyway. It's on up day and night since I started the chemo.
All right. I gave you cancer.
You don't know what this is like, Anthony. I can't do it. Kennedy was right.
Well, what's he gotta say?
Can't get him on the phone. The nurses won't put me through to him.
Why not?
They leave messages at the hospital, at the office. Send him a box of Cohibas.
I couldn't get past reception.
Just because he saw a second opinion?
He must be very busy.
Yeah.
He's dodging you.
Tony's gonna take offense to it because he already offered him, favor and all that. He kind of refused or didn't really accept it.
Yeah.
Just walked away.
An answering machine.
What are you gonna do? These doctors, it's not like on TV.
Bye.
Jesus.
Uh-oh.
Is he gonna apologize or is he just gonna start more shit?
Now what?
Get in. You're not even married yet. You're dipping into whores already.
Didn't cost me a quarter. I don't pay for it.
You want more shoes? What? No. Funny thing is, they don't even fit her. I don't know why I thought she was a size 10.
I'm here to tell you one thing. You ever go whining to the big man again about shit between you and me, we'll have a problem, my friend. You seen these? We gotta bring one into the club.
Why are they all obsessed with this thing, bro?
Yeah, don't bring that to the club. Tony's not gonna be happy. They used to be on those 1-800 commercials back in the day. We bought one.
Yeah, this is crazy. He's bringing him a club.
Well, if it's about your uncle, you'll have to call my office.
Well, you might need a new secretary. I don't think you're getting all your messages. Titanium. I use one. They're 10 yards to my drives.
Thanks, but I really can't accept it.
For everything you've done for my uncle. Anyway, what am I gonna do with it? I already got one and...
You're gonna hit him with it.
Yeah, this man. Mr. Williams here. That's what he called him.
What is it, Jack?
I'll just be a minute.
Well, I could use a little extra distance.
Who couldn't? You know, my uncle, he's not doing so well. He's got a bad reaction to that
Don't
chemo.
fall into the water, bro.
Yeah, they're gonna walk this man right into
I
the...
can really do.
You know, there are worse things that can happen to a person than cancer.
My uncle thinks he's gonna die. He thinks it's because he went against you.
You gotta be on your act.
Answer his phone calls.
Cheryl, make sure Mr. Soprano is scheduled for 2...
Just remember it.
Thanks.
Everybody's marriage has problems.
She's seeing another one.
Oh, no.
Oh, different guy.
Okay, never mind.
Yes, she wouldn't send it.
Yeah.
Her to his. Her
Yeah,
therapist.
it doesn't make sense, too. I don't know why we...
What we say in here stays in here, right?
By ethical code, by law,
His crimes, they are organized crime.
the Mafia.
Oh, Jesus.
Her reaction to that word.
He betrays me every week with these whores.
Probably the least of his misdeeds.
What a way to. Bruh.
Well, you're going to charge the same anyway.
I won't take your money.
That's a new one.
You must trust your initial impulse and consider leaving him.
Damn.
You'll never be able to feel good about yourself. You'll never be able to quell the feelings of guilt and shame as long as you're his accomplice.
You're wrong about the accomplice part, though.
You sure?
All I did was make sure he's got clean clothes in his closet and dinner on his table.
So enabler would be a more accurate job description for you than accomplice. My apologies.
Straight shooter.
I think I need to define my boundaries more clearly. Keep a certain distance. Not internalize my...
What did I just say?
She was trying to rationalize it. Yeah.
My priest said I should try and work with him and help him to be a better man.
How's that going?
This actually happens, bro. This is going to be a huge switch up.
The way they built up Carmela's character and she's written, I don't think she'd do it.
I would have to get a lawyer, find an apartment, arrange for child support.
You're not listening. I'm not charging you because I won't take blood money. You can't either. One thing you can never say that you haven't been told.
You're right, I see.
Wow.
Wow.
He was straight to the point.
I don't think anyone has ever told her straight up.
Yeah.
I've been busy. You all right?
Oh, Doc, don't bullshit a bullshitter. Is this shit gonna work? Or should we go back in the room?
You got a top guy here. Guy I'd go see if I needed to.
Oh, you're a son of a bitch.
That's my home number. You start to feel punk, call me.
Thanks, Dr. Kennedy.
I'll check back on you Wednesday. Take good care of this young fella.
Feeling all good. Crazy. You're going to stop puking too now, watch.
You know, if you want to go to therapy on your own or something.
This man has no idea.
I noticed you've been a little tense lately.
That's rich. You suggesting I go to a shrink. I don't have the time.
Neither one of them can be honest with each other. It's so annoying.
That dean called today.
Well, that can't be good.
Told him to put us down for the 50,000.
Oh.
Carmela, I gave you 5. All right, maybe I could go another 5, maybe 10. That's enough.
Tony, you gotta do something nice for me today. This is what I want. You gotta do this.
Why don't go to 10? That should be enough for those Morningside Heights gangsters.
I already told him 50.
50 G's.
Yes.
You look like you could use a night off from cooking. What do you say we go out?
Finally. Jesus. Wow.
Seems like all it took was for her to kind of put her foot down a little bit and be like, no, you got to do this. But are they going to actually go out to dinner? I don't know.
I don't know. I love it when, specifically this season, they're doing really well at honing in the family dynamics and how they, on their perspective on seeing their loved ones working in the mob, specifically Carmela and Tony, and what she goes through on a daily basis. So I really love this episode focused on Carmela and her home life and what she feels and how she's dealing with all this with Meadow going out to college and that week where AJ was away from home. And it took a moment where she had to really just sit with her thoughts. And we got, I think, a very well-written episode that I really enjoyed. And I'm just wondering, starting with Abe, what stood out to you with Carmela's character in this episode? Did they reveal some things that haven't been revealed in the past, in these last seasons that we've watched?
Yeah, I think they did. With Carmela, I think it was more just like a full confrontation of the things that we've suspected, where we know that she's kind of been conflicted in general. Same with Tony on, the mob, the things that he does, how he interacts in general, and how that has an effect on her life. But we've never seen her like truly confront it, and we've never seen somebody tell her straight up, like, the only way that she can get out of this. The only way that she can get out of this is if she just full on leaves Tony. And when she saw that shrink, she got that confirmation. She faced it head on, and that's why she was like fully in tears and really emotional about all of it. And I think that she knows, I think what you said, like she knows she could never do it in the way they've written her character. They wouldn't write her to do that in terms of leaving Tony. She's that wife, that mom that like holds it down no matter what. Like the kids can be awful, her husband can be terrible, but she's consistent, right? Like she may be pissed off, she might be, upset and not, in this episode she threw a whole phone at Tony and she was, giving him a little bit of a taste of his own medicine back to him, but she still stayed and she's still there to do the things that he needs in order to live their life. And I think that she knows there's really no going back at this point. But now she's like trying to put her foot down of like, the same thing I said in the beginning is like, this man literally just needs like one thing a week to do nice for his wife, or like maybe one thing a day.
Yeah.
Because like everything that Carmela ends up wanting or like suggesting, asking for, like Tony just like flat out no, or he finds a way to talk her out of it or whatever. And it's just like this consistent, like dispelling of her feelings and not like a genuine relationship. And again, I think that some of their relationship is pretty transactional. I think that was a huge theme in this episode, is like they focus a lot on material possessions, with like Angie's character, Sal's widow, and with Carmela, the money, the dean, all of that, Christopher and what he's able to provide with Adriana. Like, I think that is also part of why she stays.
Yeah.
And she doesn't necessarily like admit it outright, but I think that's a very big part of the allure of being a wife of a mobster or the significant other of a mobster, right? Like, you have power and wealth, and there's things that you can do in your life that you wouldn't be able to do without that. And I think that Carmela was confronted with that, and to me, that last scene showed how much she values that.
Yeah, she values status. I
Yep.
think there's a big thing in the mob where, you know, your family, you know, gets taken care of, and what really matters is, you know, is how people from the outside perceive your family, because you guys have everything. You know, I think even with Adriana with the shoes, right? They're showing it from the foundation of where it begins, and I can see from Carmela's standpoint, yeah, I feel like the only reason why she kind of still remains in this relationship and in this environment is, one, again, she's very religious, and she sticks with Tony because of her faith, and also because of what she has. And that's something we talked about last episode too. Like, they have everything in terms of material, right?
Yep.
They have the big house, they have the nice cars, they can go on vacation.
Her daughter can go to Colombia.
They can donate, right? So it's like, do I want to risk that?
And I think another part of it is cultural.
Yeah.
Because when she married Tony, she knew who she was marrying. She knew what it is to be a mobster's wife, and she made peace with that when she first got married. And it's a really backwards culture, because you can see what the husbands are able to do and all the freedom that they have, and the wife is just expected to be there, sustain the family, and just like keep everything ticking in the household. And it's a horrible thing, but she knows that that is the culture that she chose to be part of, and she has to kind of accept that, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah. Charlie, would you, putting yourself in Carmela's shoes, would you just do what she's doing?
I mean, it's kind of hard to walk away from all that. I feel like she's in a tricky situation, because I think she has to think about the danger that she could put herself in trying to leave as well. I don't know how divorces in the mob works and stuff like that. But I don't think that it would just be easy for her to leave without Tony trying to do something, or her potentially getting harmed, or the children getting harmed somehow, some way, by someone, not necessarily Tony, but somebody else who's just trying to look out for Tony. I don't know. So she has to put all of that into consideration. I think she's way too deep into everything to just walk away. She knows too much. She's involved. So,
yeah. And I also think she worries about, like, there's a lot of aspects of this. Like, one aspect of it is legal, right? Right now, in terms of all the court stuff going on, the FBI investigations, like, they have spousal privilege. She can't testify against Tony. If they get divorced, she could. That would happen. Like, that would be biting Tony in the ass, but it also would bite the kids in the ass. Like, then they would have no benefit of this. Like, it would just tear their entire lives apart. So those kinds of things, like, I think weigh in on these sorts of decisions and just the way that she evaluates where she is in her life. But again, I think you hit on a point which I think is interesting. Is like, why can't they be honest with each other? Because it's very clear that they just they really struggle with saying what's on their mind, unless it's just like lashing out.
Yeah, it was Charlie that said that in the conversation.
Yeah, I think the other thing I'm trying to think too, or that I'm thinking too, is the only possibility I think is if Tony initiates the divorce.
Yeah. I'm sure these guys a lot of these guys have been married like 2, 3, 4 times, whatever.
And I don't know. I honestly don't know why he still is there. It's clear that he, doesn't really give Carmela much attention. She's just there to do the chores, cook the food, essentially. And she takes care of the kids. He doesn't really spend that much time with the kids. He's just work. And he's cheating on her almost every day. So why not?
Yeah.
Why does he hold on? That's what I'm wondering here. I don't know. Maybe it's the family dynamic that he had when he was younger that seemed like a broken family, and he's trying to hold on to whatever pieces is possible to try to keep his family intact or whatever. But
I think a lot of it goes down to cultural, like what they're used to in their families and everything. Like it's generations of this point where mobsters, the husbands, they do what they do. They have wives, they have mistresses, they do horrible things, but they stay in those relationships because once you find like the one woman that will, tolerate all of that, then like I feel like it's hard to imagine, that with somebody else, or like that's a security blanket for them almost too, and their family and keeping things stable. So
it's like when they find someone who just accepts it, right? Because you look at Artie and Artie's wife. Artie's wife is someone who keeps him in check,
right?
Calls him out on his BS, and is always like, "Yo, you gotta do something different here. Like you can't be working with Tony Soprano." And what did he want? He wanted Adriana. Why did he want Adriana? Because Adriana accepts it. Accepts being with Christopher. Accepts the lifestyle of it, and it's heartbreaking to see because it's like, damn, like just allowing someone to cheat on you and be in that environment, it's tough. So it's so dense and so the dynamics is there's so many layers to it, and on why someone would go into an environment like that. It's crazy. Yeah.
Then you look at someone like Junior though, who is not married. I don't recall if his wife passed, if they got divorced, or if he got married. I don't know. He had that one thing with that woman, and he cut it off just because she told other people that what they do in the bedroom, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think that right there is an example. Like, you don't have to have a woman. It's the cultural aspect of the stuff, because he's still the boss, right? Without one, and tossing his mistress or whoever the heck she was, a girlfriend, to the side. So I don't know why these guys hold on to these toxic relationships. I think it's probably just because they have some sort of something to fall back on
it's a security.
at home, a security,
yeah,
and power, because it's someone that you can kind of control and manipulate.
It's definitely an aspect of that.
Yeah, and it's awesome to see David Chase go into dynamics like that and showcase how horrible it is and how toxic this environment is to put, to devalue women. Because it's factual. Like this stuff happens, right?
What I really think is interesting too is like, it's interesting to see this from the perspective of someone like a Carmela, right? When we talk about when she was in the shrink's office, like we talk about like all the horrible things the mob does, what was the thing that she was concerned about? Him cheating.
Yeah.
And the guy like tells her
that's
straight
the
up,
minimum.
the least
thing.
The least of his crimes, right? And she doesn't react positively to that because like genuinely she doesn't care. Like, or not that she doesn't care, but like that's not really her concern because she chose to live this life, right? And all that she wants is for her husband to be faithful to her and like actually be in a relationship. And to me that is like really, really interesting because most people wouldn't dare be with somebody who, is so immoral and unethical like Tony. But for her, she's accepted all those pieces of him and she just wishes like this one part would change.
Yeah, it's a fantasy. I don't know. It's so, again, like it's there's so many layers. It's so deep.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. We got another dynamic with Christopher and Paulie. Kind of like Christopher being the Nepo baby.
100%.
In terms of themes, what stood out to you in that dynamic that's been happening since episode 1, right? Where they made him. Well, episode 1 was the stakeout, but Ever since the season started, that's been something that they've built that they've been building up. Just wondering the tension and everything. So thematically, what stood out to you in this episode with that?
I think it's a little bit of a sign for Christopher to pump his brakes, because he's been moving very quickly because of what you said. He's basically a nepo baby. He's related to Carmela, so it's very clear why he's moving up and why he's kind of earmarked as that guy to continue to move up. And I think Paulie's just checking him, because like the second that he got made, his ego like shoots through the roof. You know what I mean? Before, like, Christopher was he was just like a loyal soldier kind of guy. You know what I mean? And I think since he's been made, he's lost some of that, from what we've seen anyway. And I think, from what we've seen of the other guys who support Tony, particularly like Silvio and Paulie, they're still like loyal soldiers. They're made guys. They make their own money. They have their business that they need to run and all that stuff. But like what Tony says goes, and they don't really disrespect, chain of command. He's already, you know what I mean? Like, Christopher's already questioning, already pushing back, already like kind of disrespecting, his elders and his higher ups, so to speak, with Paulie. And I think Paulie's trying to like teach him a lesson. You know what I mean?
What do you think, Charlie?
I agree. And maybe potentially a little bit of jealousy too. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but they could all be slightly jealous of Christopher because he's the young guy in the group who probably has a lot more potential going forward. He's got the hot young girlfriend. He's family. So, yeah, he can one day probably become their boss, and maybe they have a little bit of jealousy. I think the jealousy right now probably comes a little bit more of the fact that he has Adriana. He just got made, and he has Adriana, right? So you got like people like Artie's jealous. Paulie is out here sniffing her panties,
crazy,
stuff like that. So that's what I think as well.
Yeah.
Could be.
What do you guys? We also got the perspective of mobs in a doctor room, where on how the board deals with their patients, the politics and all that. So was there? I'm just wondering, the way I frame it like this. I was just wondering, is there any parallels from that meeting versus the mob that you noticed?
Oh yeah, the politics of it, for sure. Like just the players and who does what influences the decisions that are made. You know what I mean? You might have a good idea in the mob to be able to make some more money, but you won't do it because you don't want to touch this person's territory or mess with their business. Same thing in the doctor's operating room and the board doing their decision and their recommendation. Oh, I recommend this, but this person's gonna have to supervise you. No, I'm not touching it then. Like, you know what I mean? The politics go wherever you are in these sorts of settings where there's multiple powers at play. So I think that parallel was interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously Tony did his thing.
It'd be nice to have a Tony and a Fudio at your disposal for stuff like that. Like you get a bill from your insurance that's some BS and just be like, hey, Tony, can you help me with something real quick?
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it's wild how they could just make a guy like fold just by showing up where thinks he's safe playing golf and everything, and just some intimidation works. But at the same time, I do think that Dr. Kennedy was smart in the fact that he did what Tony was asking, but at the same time, he kept himself like away from the involvement. So he's like, oh, you're already seeing this doctor, whatever. You're in great hands. I love his work. He does great. Here's my card with my number if you need anything. He like basically put Junior at ease, and he's out of it for now.
Mm-hmm.
So because Uncle Junior, unfortunately, he's a victim to the placebo effect very much. Like,
yeah,
this man is so superstitious. You could tell him if Dr. Kennedy told him like, you're cured, you don't have cancer, and you can't get it ever again, he would believe it.
Yeah.
And
his superstition, again, like, I think you're spot on, because we've seen the superstition with the 3. Mm-hmm. The thing comes in 3s.
Yep.
I'm the third person now who's potentially could die of cancer, like all that stuff. So I think that's very clear for him. I am really interested in the thing that he said in the beginning, where he was talking about it's in Tony's best interest for me to do chemo because he's a hair shy of, owning all of Northern Jersey, and that's me. So I found that to be very interesting, and I wonder from you guys if you think that's where Tony's head was at, or if you think that that's just Junior being paranoid.
So the way I'm seeing it, I think it's Junior being paranoid. Because in the beginning of the episode, what set Tony off in this episode was the fish thing. When he got reminded of pussy, and I think that made him super distressed this episode. So I don't think he was thinking about the whole Junior dynamic. I really think he was just looking out for Junior and being like, "Yo, we just gotta make sure that you're good." I think it's showcasing Junior's superstitions and how he sees it. Do I think that's a very smart move of him? Yeah, I think him thinking about that, it's like, whoa, I know you're kind of superstitious and that's crazy, but I do believe. I just think I think he was overthinking.
Well, I almost wonder if there's a secondary motive, like for Tony. Like I get he was trying to help him out, but the whole like, I don't know. In my mind, his uncle clearly, like, he's an old man. He has cancer. He's struggling. He has a doctor that, you know, did his surgery, was planning him to do another, you know, part of surgery. And the other recommendation that he gets from doctors is to do, you know, chemo, and potentially if it doesn't work, it goes to surgery. So like it almost feels like he's putting him through hell even more. And at the end, right, it's not like he goes to Dr. Kennedy and is like, all right, we want to undo this and have you do surgery. It's like, nah, we just need you to go in there and make him feel all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if that wasn't what Kennedy recommended, because he went in there and said, this is the guy I would go to if I was in trouble. You saw the like cut to the guy. The guy was looking like, yeah, BS, because I know you're a surgeon. Like you believe in getting that thing, cutting it out, and that's it. So in that moment, I was like, this is very interesting, because Kennedy is just telling Junior what he wants him to hear. And I think that is exactly what Tony wanted, not to go back to the original plan or anything like that, what his uncle wanted.
Oh, okay.
But he went to that. And maybe there's a little, you know,
I think it was intentional from Tony's
a little
part.
bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and say he wants his uncle to be weak, frail, fragile, any of that stuff. But his uncle not having the physical capacity to operate and lead and cause problems for him doesn't hurt him. You know what I mean? So I think about the secondary motive there.
Okay.
Not to say that this is like his entire intention, but
It's
I
like-
think there is some validity to what Junior was paranoid about.
It's like unintentional, but it's like not intentional, but it's work. I don't even know how to frame it, but
Yeah, I think there's a sad benefit to it that Tony, you know, is not upset about.
The thing with Junior though is like, why do we know how much time he has with house arrest? Like, I don't know what the time frame is. He's old.
Yeah.
He's got the cancer. What does he expect, that he's going to be able to hold on to this position forever? Is he's going to go eventually?
No.
You know, so like he's hanging on to like the last little bit of control he can have, but he's going to be gone soon too. You know, so like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the ego and the pride
Yeah,
thing.
like
but
my piece is
Tony's going to take it.
My piece is wondering, why doesn't he just? I mean, but the thing is, he's on trial and everything, so he can't settle down. I think that's the problem, is that he still has a, oh my God, an ankle monitor, so he can't retire and call it a day.
No, but that's what I'm saying is, he can give up what he controls to Tony and just forget about it, but the thing that's keeping him from doing that, I think, is pride, ego,
And also like, it's kind of the only thing in his life that still keeps him relevant and interesting. You know what I mean? Like if he's stuck in his house,
right?
Him being involved at all in any of the mob stuff is kind of the only thing that he can think about that takes away from A, the cancer, and B, being on house arrest. You know what I mean? In my mind, that's how I see it. So I think he has some motivations to be healthy and still be there. And if he wasn't, you know, any sort of leadership in the mob, then I start to ask myself the question of like, what does Junior have to live for?
Yeah, I mean, he has no wife. He'd be very lonely.
Yep. His like half of the family kind of hates him because of the planned hit on Tony, all that stuff. So
But I would argue that in the recent things we've seen him in, he hasn't been able to really do anything mob related anyway. All of his focus is on old age. People around him are dying, and
sure, but you saw in this episode already, he starts bringing up, why do you have an issue with Ralphie? Started
No, I
already
do.
to like
Yeah. He's making conversation when he has the opportunity, but when it's just him and the other guy, I forget who's living with him. Forget his name.
Bacala.
Yeah, there's just it's just nothing but TV, and
yeah, but he still has influence. He still has influence, and he still has respect. Like that's the
no,
part
of
that I
course he
think-
does, but he doesn't actually have control, and until he realizes that for sure, I don't know. He's gonna keep holding on to what he has because he can't call the shots. Like
No, he can't. He can't. And that's why, again, that's why I think he recognized that, because he said he's only a hair away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that hair is him just literally being alive and him being able to have respect from others and still be that influence that people think could be influential over Tony.
I do feel like if he just let it go, he could have the opportunity to be more at peace, but it's his life. It's all he knows. So he's holding on.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much peace you can get in your own house with this dude who just like watches everything over you. Like, I just don't think he has much going on for him in his life. So
yeah,
I think that's part of the issue too.
With that being said, y'all, thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We love you guys and see you soon for more Tony Tuesday. Stay beautiful, y'all.
See ya.